Hello and welcome to Business Reporter's Future of Retail campaign, hosted by The Telegraph Online. I'm Alistair Greener and today I'm going to be talking to Carl A.L. from UNiDAYS about how retailers and marketers can reach and understand students. Good morning.
Good morning.
So sort of college and university students seem to be the best target audience for marketers, especially when you look at their demand for lifestyle products. So what makes the difference between a successful and an unsuccessful brand?
Well, to be successful, firstly, you need to understand the sheer scale of the demographic. The second thing is the misconceptions around students, and there are a lot of those. So to get past this, you really need to have data and insight to understand what are the shopping habits of students, what do they do when they get into stores.
The thing is that data is easy to get, especially with the tech-savvy youth of today. I mean, there's so much data there. So I suppose the question is, why are so many retailers and marketers actually failing to gather that information and use it to their advantage?
The information is there, but the true facts are that when you shift from online to physical retail, they just don't have the data. And the reason for this is retailers have become very reliant on manual processes, like pressing a student button on an EPOS system in store, and card-based systems, which are ultimately the legacy student incentive programs. This doesn't provide any more data than the transaction actually happened in store, because it's not digital. And so to get past that, you really need to use digital, mobile, and all of those types of things.
You talked earlier on about the misconceptions of this demographic. What are they?
Well, firstly, there's a misconception that they aren't actually a demographic at all, and that's concerning. The research shows that within the first 100 days as a student, students will spend on average £3,000. So there is value and there is shopping power. But also students like to shop differently. So long gone are the days of spending all their money drinking and going out and things like that. It's very much about healthy lifestyle and living well. And this represents a significant change in the spending of groceries when they're doing the grocery shops, as healthy living is more expensive. This demographic are very conscious of what they're spending their money on, and ultimately some of the misconceptions are not true.
So how do you at UNiDAYS overcome this issue of gathering this data and using it so that you can actually understand and reach this very important target audience?
Well, to reach the audience, you need to know who the students are. And they live in perpetual 3 to 5 year cycles, so it's very important that you involve and keep up. We have a robust verification platform that integrates with student institutions. Once we've verified who the students are, we look at how we communicate with them. So we reach out to them to understand their shopping preferences and buying behaviour so that we can target them. A lot of students are ad blockers, so it's no good just pushing them any old content. That's not going to work. But we also help brands understand how they like to shop, how they move across the channels and try and look for that seamless experience. And what do they do when they get in stores? We do a lot of retail shopping events to make sure that the immersive experience comes to life on the shop floor.
As we know, this is the online generation, but they are still, as you said, shopping in store. They're shopping offline. So how do you bridge that gap between the online and the offline experience?
Well, first and foremost, students don't think of channels, and so neither do we. And actually, offline and online is a different thing to get your head around when you've got a connected mobile device in your pocket when you're out shopping. So we look at ways of creating seamless experiences, whether you're shopping online, taking a code and redeeming it in store. But it's very important to actually make sure that in store there are immersive experiences using mobile as a centerpiece.
So tell us a little bit about UNiDAYS. Who are you and how do you overcome these challenges?
Well, UNiDAYS has a community of 8.5 million students around the world, and we connect these students to the most relevant brands. We have offices in Nottingham, London, New York and Australia, and we're always on the lookout for top talent across retail, marketing and technology. We've had people join the team from big brands like Google and Facebook and Virgin, the group of individuals that, above all things, are really passionate about this demographic.
The challenge is that some of the things you've been talking about, gathering this data, doing all of these things, these are basically tools that organisations can use already. Some of them might say, well, why do I need a third party to help me?
Well, if it was that easy, we'd just do it right. And the reality of this is it isn't easy. So many retailers are undergoing massive change, struggling to keep up with change with complex and fragmented strategies, often trying to figure out what the internal omnichannel strategies is all about. It isn't easy is the hard truth. It's actually quite a difficult thing to do. And as fast as you've caught up with one thing, the landscape changes and it moves to something else. We believe that to future-proof this strategy, you need to integrate educational and student programs into the company strategy.
Well, it's been fascinating finding out about the trends in retail and, more importantly, how to get those all-important students engaged.
Yeah.
Carl A.L. from UNiDAYS, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.